It's Sunday night, I'm drinking wine.
What's up, Labby Talkers? Hola, chicos. Oi, rapaziada, which is Portuguese for hola, chicos. Are you ready to dish the dirt on all things living abroad in your late 20s, which is still our late 20s for us, as we are 28-year-old somethings? Then, well, grab
Speak
a
for
beer.
yourself.
Excuse me, how old are you? Oh, you're 29.
Duh. But okay, I don't need the reminder. Babe. It's
Well,
all good.
if you're 28, if you're 29 and younger, or if you're a little bit older and you're still curious about living abroad in your late 20s, because we're all in our late 20s at heart, then grab another beer out of your esky, or the ice cooler if you're from the UK, or the freezer if you're from the US, because they don't use anything there, and pour yourself a tall drink, which is also a UK saying. I would say pour yourself a full glass of beer, because we are about to transport you to a hot beach somewhere in South or Latin America. And just for the heads up, this podcast contains explicit language and adult themes. So if you are eating your breakfast, or if you are doing a poo, then you might want to chew slowly and poo slowly. No choking, please. Sorry, that did not go. What's going on, Maggie?
What's up, Ollie?
That's the longest
How are
intro
you?
ever.
I absolutely loved it. I hate the idea of somebody choking on their poo, though.
Oh,
That
God.
sounds pretty uncomfortable.
Make sure you get that fibre in. What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking another glass of Prosecco, which you know. What about you?
I've also drinking the same as what I was drinking last week. Kakildisjis. Whenever I go to the shop on
Cackle dishes. Cackle dishes.
Cackle jizz.
A cackle jizz. Cackle jizz.
Maybe it is, you know.
What's a jizz of a cackle?
Oh, I'm going to jizz on my fucking chest after this.
Yeah, you do that, babe. You do you know.
No. Whenever I go to this, the corner shop to buy this beer, I say, can I have the beer that's the orange beer? And they're like, oh, this beer. I'm like, yeah, don't know how to say it.
How do you say orange in Portuguese? Is it naranja or is it orange?
Laranja. Laranja.
Naranja.
Yeah, there
Because
you go.
it's funny how like orange is the same. Okay, no, I'm going to sound really kind of legally blonde right now.
Snobbish.
But how orange the no, as in like thick. Like how, orange the color is the same as orange the taste.
Fruit.
No? The fruit. Is that strange?
I mean, yeah,
Is it
because
the same in
shouldn't-
every single language?
I mean, shouldn't banana be like yellow? Shouldn't we just call it yellow?
Oh, I'd love a yellow, to be honest. I'd love a few yellows.
I've got an orange.
I need something a bit bigger than that.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for
Oh.
starters. In case people are wondering what we're talking about, we're talking about my butt plug, which kind of like opens my asshole before I have sex. Sorry, is that too much? It is 3 minutes into the
No.
episode.
This is what the viewers want. The listeners want. Sorry, this is the content they're expecting. So, Ollie, anyway, if you recall, like a few episodes ago, we spoke about nudist beaches.
I do recall.
And going topless at the beach. You told us your lovely story about how you went nude in Búzios in Brazil.
Crazy.
Wow, absolutely insane scenes, right? So some of our loyal listeners who are active on Instagram may have seen that I put up a post about nudist beaches and going topless. And after our conversation, I was super interested in hearing what other people have to say about nudist beaches. And I was wondering if other people out there felt the same as we did about getting naked on the beach and getting naked in public.
Do you know, I'm really interested to hear the findings, because I think I might be surprised, because I think people's perceptions and people's opinions of nudity and the ability to just, bear it all might be different, because I think people are comfortable in different situations. For me, like, I know that I have a nice body. It's a nice body. But, like, even going to the beach with, like, my swimmers on, it's still kind of like, oh shit, like, who's around, who's looking at me, like, I feel a bit self-conscious. And then going to this nudist beach, like, a couple of weeks ago, I was just like, fuck it. Like, what possesses us to think in these ways,
It's so interesting, and I can't wait to hear how your views compare to the poll and what other people out there thought about getting naked in public. But before we get stuck in there, we have our shout out of the week.
Woo woo!
Woo! And this week, our shout out goes to my dear friend, Shelley. And Shelley is a recent listener, I think, of Labia Talk, as many people are. I think as we're like expanding and we're branching out and
Becoming
we're really
more professional.
improving our sound quality and other things as well.
I love how becoming more professional means just talking about more sex. Sorry, continue with Shelley.
Well, no, that's what the people want, come on. It's our personal brand. And yeah, Shelley is a very good friend of mine. I went to uni together with her, an incredible woman who's very politically involved and has been involved in many organizations, most recently as health and safety policy officer at the Trades Union Congress. So she's very involved in politics and shaping our culture and society right here in the UK at the moment. A lovely gal, good laugh, and thank you so much for listening, Shelley.
Wow.
We love you.
We love activism and we are slacktivists.
We are, but I think we're doing our little bit as well.
I love how you just accepted the fact that I called you a slacktivist.
I know, but I did try and sort of I'm a shitty activist, I have to say.
Maggie, the thing is, we believe really strongly in what we believe in, but, I mean, for me personally, it's really difficult to explain because, I have really strong opinions, but, I don't know why I'm not an activist, I really don't know why. I can't answer it.
I do, you know what? I'm so behind so many amazing things that people are doing. But when it comes to my personal daily life, I don't know. It's just something that I've never really, I try and get involved to the degree that I can, I guess.
True.
And anyway. I think we're changing, Ollie, the world in our little own way.
Especially with this podcast. And speaking of, changing the world, I have a bit of food for thought for you today, Maggie. Are you ready for this?
Am I? Yeah, go for it.
Okay. The judgment doesn't stop once the clothes are off.
Wow.
What does that mean? That's a big statement.
It's pretty deep, isn't it?
Too deep. Deep right in our vagina and our asshole.
I know, it's deep I haven't had enough Prosecco, to be honest. I'll still answer it. But
I don't have enough beers here. That's the problem.
Oh, I've got to say though, I guess we're always judged. We're judged even, when we're completely naked. We're still feeling a little bit of maybe we still feel very self-conscious or sort of aware of our bodies, whether it is if we're wearing clothes or if we're not wearing clothes. So I guess that's where the judgment stems from, in a way.
Totally. And I think it comes back to the podcast we did 2 weeks ago. And I'm really pleased that you decided to do your 11 questions on Instagram because I was thinking personally when I was there at the beach, and I think I spoke about this in the last podcast, and I was despite, everybody else being nude, I thought that there were people there judging me, and maybe there were some people judging me because, I have a hairy body. I had a bit of a beer belly because I was on holidays and things like that. But, I felt freedom on this beach. And I've never really felt that sense of, freedom on a beach before. And I was fucking naked. Holy shit.
Oh, it's amazing. That's so great. You felt so comfortable because there was a question that I posed out there, and it was whether the beach is a place of freedom or a place of judgment for people. And I guess perhaps this question in itself is a bit polarizing, is a bit, doesn't allow for different sort of answers. However, people still responded to it, and 71% of people agree with you, Ollie, and they thought that the beach is a place of freedom, in fact. That's kind of where I stand on it too. But I was quite surprised that as much as 29% thought that it can be a place of judgment.
It's really interesting, isn't it? I mean, just so people are aware, we're getting on to our 11 questions that Maggie proposed to her followers. And you know what? I think the 29% of judgment comes from the fact that, you know, people have an idea of what is beautiful and what is not. And it's a social perspective. It's not really anybody's opinion. It's just this whole fucking idea. And I'm curious to know if, like, the people who voted that it's a place of judgment are not comfortable with themselves. I'm not sure because I think I participated in this fucking poll. But if I was to vote, I would vote that it is a place of judgment because, you know, being a gay man in especially Rio de Janeiro, you've been to Rio, and we have spoken a lot about, you know, the gay men at Rio. Like, they fucking use Viagra. They have these beautiful beaches. They have these beautiful bodies and everything is... They have beautiful beaches too. As well. But, like, you know, I feel like when I'm in Posto 9 at Ipanema Beach in Rio, which is the gay area on the beach, it's kind of like people aren't looking at me because I'm not as beautiful as other people. They're like, they've looked at me, they've judged me. You're not beautiful. Let's move on. So it's quite interesting that I'm surprised at that percentage is so high.
Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it? I thought that I thought that perhaps it was a place that where all inhibitions are kind of lost. It's a place where you can really be yourself. But as you mentioned, sort of the cultural differences of being on the beach in Rio and how image is such a big deal of, like, when you are on the beach there, and, like, how you present yourself is so important. As you mentioned, you know, guys taking Viagra, which for me was like, whoa. I didn't even realize they did that. My God, who knew I was so innocent and pure and had no idea about this? But it kind of makes you think that people do feel a pressure to live up to a certain beach body image. And that's another question that I found myself asking, because I'm not going to lie, like, I'm comfortable in my body, but I definitely do feel a pressure to live up to a certain kind of image on the beach. You know, I will make sure I've been working out quite a little bit before I go to the beach. I remember you and I, even before we went on a holiday in Rio, we had quite a strict workout routine before hitting there. I'm pretty sure we were playing the Brazilian bangers through our earphones at the gym religiously every day of the week before we went on holiday.
What do you mean by banger?
Oh, okay. Well, well, in this sense, I mean like a banging song. So like a really good song. So some Brazilian funk while we're doing our fucking brutal abs routine or whatever. So yeah, I definitely do feel the pressure to live up to a certain beach body image. You know, nobody wants to feel bloated or feel uncomfortable at the beach. You want to feel like you've got fucking abs of steel or whatever. So yeah, I was not surprised, to be honest, that 74% of people agreed with me and thought that they feel the pressure to live up to a certain beach body image. And only 26% said no.
Maggie, I'm like, again, I'm not surprised by these results either. But I wonder if it's a Western perspective of body image because, you know, going back to what you said, you took the words out of my mouth by saying that we were so focused on getting this fucking, you know, Brazilian butt and this body image by going to the gym every day. And like, we religiously worked out, you know, 4 or 5 days a week on the roof of our apartment in Bolivia back in the time of quarantine in Bolivia. And, you know, going back to what I said, when I'm on the beach in, like, the gay area in Ipanema, I feel like it's a total place of judgment. But then if I go to Buzios or if I go to another part of the beach, you know, you see men, you see women of all shapes and sizes, all colors, you know, it's just so, like, open and honest. And, like, you know, and the thing I love about, like, going out of this Posto 9 is that larger men, larger women, you know, even, like, really, really, really skinny people as well. I mean, I don't want to make that sound negative or anything, but they are wearing, like, the large women are wearing, like, the bikini up their asshole. The men are wearing these short, tight swimmers, which, I don't know, it's part of Brazilian culture. But I wonder if, like, judgment is reserved for specific groups in society, and whether if you're a part of a specific group in society that you feel that there is pressure on you to have this kind of beach body image. I don't know if that's like too big of a question to answer, but it raises some good points, right?
It's so interesting that you're saying that, and I completely agree. I think that as women, we have such different pressures than men have in a way, and that's why I sort of pose this question: whether people feel the pressure to perform a certain femininity or a certain masculinity at the beach. I'm not sure if my question perhaps wasn't formulated as clearly, but what I mean by that is, do women feel the pressure to have shaved legs, to be, shaved armpits, to be completely bare in those areas, to have, I don't know, like a flat tummy? Thank you, darling. Do men feel a need to, I don't know, well, obviously the guys on the gay part of the beach in Rio definitely feel a need to sort of like pack down there, whatever.
Take a tablet.
Take a little tablet. So 63% of people actually said yes. I was a little bit surprised by that, a little bit pleased to hear it wasn't higher. And 37% of people said no. Jesus Christ, I cannot read any numbers today, can I? I think I'm quite dyslexic by numbers anyway. But yeah, 37% of men... 37% of people said no.
Do you know what I don't know. I don't know if I'm just being weird, but I'm not surprised by this at all.
You're not?
No, I'm not, because like the beach is like the place that we are closest to vulnerability as possible in terms of our body image and stuff like that. Yeah, we feel vulnerable when we walk on the streets in Rio, like we might get robbed or something like that. But like I feel like the beach is like the place where you're most exposed to random people. And I don't know, like going back to the first question about whether the beach is a place of freedom or judgment, I think, regardless of like whether you feel judged or whether you feel free there are people looking at you and, you want to perform for them. Am I being wrong? Or do people just go to the beach just because they want to have a swim and they want to get a sun tan? Or
No way. It's a multitude of factors. Everybody wants to feel that feeling that somebody's checking them out.
Totally.
You know what I mean? When you're like out in public and you could just feel the gaze of, well, sometimes this can be really uncomfortable, of course, and predatory, but sometimes it can feel quite sexy. When you're like just out in public and you could just feel the gaze of somebody else like looking over you. You're just like, oh, yeah.
I thought you were talking about gays as in Gays.
You know what? I think I said that in a really early episode. I think I said a confusing... Oh, no, I'm getting us confused with Thinking Flesh now. That's really a long time ago. I'm so sorry. Another gay.
Doing a CTA for Thinking Flesh. Call to action. Follow Maggie's Instagram, Thinking Flesh.
Follow Thinking Flesh.
As she rubs her nipples.
Bit inactive, but yeah, absolutely. But let's bring Thinking Flesh back. But yeah, Ollie, I guess, I don't know, but that's why a lot of people... I get the point that you're raising about the beach being a place of freedom, a place of just like being yourself, and like all bodies are basically on display in like a sort of like non-hierarchical, that's the word, non-hierarchical. Need to get my prefixes correct. Non-hierarchical environment. Loser. ESL nerd in the house, checked in. So I'm sorry, it just sounded like our Australia, I was gonna say, our American friends. But a lot of people America. You from America?
We love our Americans.
Oh, we love you, Americans. Oh my goodness. Anyway, where was I going with this? So, a lot of, I posed the question, what would stop you from going topless? So this question is mostly directed at people who identify as women or female. So I guess I'm saying people with breasts, like big breasts. what would stop you from going topless, or what would stop you from going to a nudist beach? And I had a few interesting answers. So one, which is the main one I would be worried about as well, is the number of creepy old men. And unfortunately, what you're saying, Ollie, yeah, I get your point. It's non-hierarchical. All bodies are welcome there. But you still get creeps on the beach. Just how you get creeps on the streets. And there are probably a few perverts out there as well. And that I understand why some people would be put off by getting their tits out on the beach.
I mean, it's a good point to raise because, like, you know, I'm definitely not a pervert, but I like to have a look, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like normal to have a look, right? It's like that locker room kind of thing that you were alluding to last week.
But, like, as in a pervert, we're talking about someone who, like, gets off over it, right?
Yeah, no, we're talking about somebody who's literally got their willy out. And
I mean,
they're just kind of
they're not getting off over your
away.
tits, let's be honest.
Definitely not.
Sorry.
Nobody is.
That was so mean.
It's okay, honey. Honey, you can say it. I've literally just got pancakes. And
I mean, you
know
can
what?
say that about my cock. It's fine.
It's okay. Thank God I haven't seen it. But you know what I mean.
I can send a pic if you want. You like the dick pic?
Ollie, don't do this to me. Come on, darling. But, you know, and another friend said they don't want strangers on the beach seeing... Sorry. Cut that. And, you know, another person said they don't want strangers on the beach, quote, seeing their nunny.
Oh, what's a nunny? I don't know what a nunny is.
What do you think a nunny is? It's like a meme.
Oh, we call it a punani.
Punani. We say punani as well, but we say
people,
punani.
For people who don't know what we're talking about the vagina now.
Yeah, we're talking about the vulva, we're talking about the women's bits.
But, like... Yeah, I totally respect
Some
their decision and, like, the reason why they would, you know, think that. But, like, I don't know. I feel like there's an unwritten rule at nudist beaches that you don't take pictures of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or am I just being so naive and, like, not understanding creeps?
No, Ollie, you're totally right. Like, that's one of the laws. I've, like, read into... I've done a little bit more research since our podcast. I've read into nudist beaches a little bit since, and yeah, that's one of the rules about naturists in general. There's a naturist society or naturist organization, an international one, and one of the rules is that you can't, like, you know, perv on people. You can't take photos or documentation. So you've got to respect everybody's, you know, desire to be out there getting naked in public.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fair enough, and I like, you know, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I feel like
no. I think it's just like not really part of our culture.
It's not, and it goes back to that, and it really goes back to that. And there's actually one question on this. We'll come back to that point because I want to continue with that conversation. But I think that, you know, when we ask the question of is going topless or nude at beaches a part of your culture, 92% of people said, no, it's not part of my culture. And I wonder, like, Maggie, going through your answers and the 8%, do you know where they come from?
I do, actually. I do.
Are you able to, like, are they Latinos or are they...
No. I can shed some light. They're actually Scandinavian.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
I feel like they're good at everything, though. So they're good at, like, you know, accepting that, aren't they?
Yeah. I think it's part of the culture. I guess there's that stereotype also of Germans. Skinny dipping and bathing and getting naked.
Those filthy Germans.
Oh, there's absolutely filthy, outrageous what they're doing.
We're joking.
And so, absolutely. And so I think it's the same with Scandinavian culture. Perhaps there's just more of like an openness. Any Scandinavian listeners or whoever participates in the poll, please do feel free to write to us at labiotalkpodcast@gmail.com and let us know if we're talking absolute bullshit. But as far as I'm aware, there is more of an openness in their culture and getting naked. Even I remember my Danish friends told me when I was at university, that yeah, it's just something normal for us. Like when we would go swimming in the lakes in the summer, out in the countryside. Yeah, you do just get naked in front of everybody, in front of your family. Like all of the family walk around naked.
Mm.
And that's something I would never do in front of my family.
No.
In front of my close family.
I remember when I was growing up and walking on like the beach in Newcastle, Australia, and there was two women like, you know, tanning
Having
topless.
sex?
Tanning topless. And we were
Topless,
literally,
yeah.
no, we were at school and we were on a school excursion and all the boys were like, you know, got their little appendix out and started to...
No.
But like it was so strange to see like somebody topless on the beach in Australia. It's just not something that we do at, you know, normal beaches. I've never been to a nude beach, but I'm definitely going when I'm back home. And Maggie, I want to go back to the question about why people wouldn't go topless at a beach. And I'm curious about this because I don't know what this means. And somebody or some people have said my link nipples. I don't know what that is. Did I say that?
Did you mean your pink nipples? I'm going to piss myself.
Me too. Apparently this is me. I wrote that I wouldn't go topless because of my link nipples.
Piss myself. Stop it.
I meant my pink nipples.
I know, because I was like, why are you talking about link nipples? Do you mean pink nipples?
I thought like a girl had like two nipples joined together.
I can't believe you didn't recognise it. Oh, babe. I'm the mystery of the link nipples has been solved. Ollie, can we see your link nipples?
No.
There's nothing wrong with... everyone's seen your link nipples because we put them on Instagram anyway. We see your... Yay!
I'm showing my link
They're normal. They're normal nipples. I'm so confused. Normal. They're total normal nipples. What the hell, man? No.
I love how I didn't know my response to that question.
And I was like, babe, which one are you referring to? Police? I don't know. I'm so confused. Oh, we love your link nipples.
We do.
I'm sure everyone loves them.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Oh.
And actually, you know, we're talking about nudity a lot and things like that. And, you know, when you take off your clothes and you want to, you know, bare it all, do you ever feel ashamed of your body at the beach? I mean, this question is also for, like, people who obviously haven't been to a nude beach as well. It's kind of like you arrive at the beach and, you know, Maggie, you traveled with me last year and when I'm at the beach, I wear shorts, and sometimes when I feel comfortable, I take it off and I wear those like tight Speedo type things as well. So I think for me, I'm not sure if I answered this question either. Did I put my links?
I can't remember. I'm sure you answered. I can't remember how you responded.
I think I would answer no now, but like, you know, a year ago, I would have said, yes, I feel ashamed about my body at the beach. And I mean, I'm not surprised to find that 60% of people feel ashamed of their body at the beach. And, you know, a message to all those people who voted they feel ashamed. Nah, you're fucking beautiful, cunt.
Yeah, just gotta embrace it. I know it's easy it's easy to say, it's a different thing to actually feel it, but honestly, just like fuck beauty standards. Just enjoy the body that you've been given, and everyone has different and unique bodies, and just own it.
Totally. Just
I
go
think that's
for
what
it.
we've got to take from that. Absolutely. Just take from that. And the amazing thing is, like, there's so many ways you can show off your body at the beach. You know, like, I know there's like certain things I wouldn't wear because I don't think they look good on me. Like, I remember the friend we were with, like, she rocked this like amazing kind of like balconette bralette type top half of a bikini, but I know that kind of shape just wouldn't work on my tiny tits, so I just like take a little triangle bikini, and that's what I know works on my body. So everybody, I feel like there's something out there for everybody, and you know, you can just look fantastic and feel good on the beach as well. Oh my god, I sound like Gok Wan. It's really bad.
I love it. Speaking of like being natural, let's go to the unnatural or the artificial. And we asked the question, or we posed the question, do you prepare your body in any way before going to the beach? This could be manscaping, shaving that vag, waxing your back, waxing your pussy,
waxing the crack,
waxing the crack, waxing the nipples,
legs,
the legs, shaving or waxing the legs. What
I
other
don't think
things
we
can you
wax
do?
nipples.
Could you-
Wax your armpits.
Armpits. Would you snave? Would you snave? Would you shave your snail trail, Maggie?
No, I love my snail trail.
Oh, I forgot that you had one. That was a joke question.
I thought you remembered. I've still very much got it, and I'm very proud of it. It's a little snail.
And unsurprisingly, 75% of people said yes, they would manscape or womanscape before they went to the beach. And, you know, before we delve more into this topic, I think I want to point out that, you know, I mentioned this in the last episode, but when I went to the nudist beach, I didn't manscape anything. My ass was hairy, my legs were hairy, my back was hairy, my chest was hairy. Normally I manscape, like, you know, I cut it down and make myself look nice, but I don't know, I just didn't do it. So, you know, I'm not surprised by 75%, but I'm kind of surprised that, like, that no is quite high. People are just, like, fucking going all out. That's great.
I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting the yes to be maybe 90%. Something like that. So I was quite surprised by how many people actually don't even bother. And it was quite refreshing, I guess.
I know, that is super refreshing.
Yeah, because I imagine like the main preparation of your body before hitting the beach is hair removal for most people.
Totally.
Hair removal, I don't know, maybe if you're like one of the guys in Rio, it's popping a Viagra. But I think the majority of us, it basically means hair removal. So I was pretty surprised that a lot of people just don't give a fuck. 25%, a quarter. So
I know, like, if we look at these statistics, I mean, like, I don't think that everybody has answered all these questions, and it changes quite a lot. But if we look at, like, you know, 75% say they prepare their body, but 60% feel ashamed. Like, it's kind of or like the statistics don't really match up, do they?
I think it's because, I guess, like, the way I see it, because I would probably agree with the majority in this respect, I do feel ashamed sometimes because I feel like I've got to live up to a certain body image.
You're so
hence
hot.
why. Oh, babes, thank you. But I just feel, you know, a pressure, obviously, to look a certain way on the beach. Yeah, it's just natural. And I guess that's why I do prepare my body in a certain way. I mean, body hair is something I'm a bit more kind of cool about. Like, I don't give, like, I mean, who can really fucking see, like, my tiny, like, hairs on my legs when I'm laying on the beach? That doesn't
I think you can see my tiny tits. Sorry.
I mean, like, everyone can see my tongue.
You should bring it back to me and say, Ollie, people can't see your tiny cock.
Well, yeah, babes, but I don't need to say that. No,
it's obvious.
I'm joking! Obviously. I'm joking. Oi! Come on now. Let's play nice. Yeah, so... Yeah, who cares? Who cares, basically, at the end of the day? Who gives a fuck? Unfortunately, we're all kind of, you know, caught up in this cycle of pressure and body image, and the beach is just an extension of that, really. What difference is it than going out to, like, a club?
Totally. I mean, you know, like, we all, like, dress up and make ourselves look the best, like, going out in the club. And, you know... Again, this is a big question, like, but how can society overcome this? Like, is it so ingrained into our Western way of thinking that, like, you know, going to a nudist beach or, like, you know, having a body that is not, you know, compatible with, like, what we watch on social media, like, it's just not taught to us as being wrong, but, like, we judge fat people.
Absolutely.
We judge fat people.
Absolutely.
We judge people with big tits. We judge people with small tits. We judge people. We judge hairy people.
Yeah. Penis size.
We judge people who have a small penis size.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what is wrong with our society? Why do we do it? You know, and like, I don't want to take the moral high ground here because, you know, I'm a victim, not a victim, because I'm not going to play the victim. I've also judged people in the past, and, like, you know, why do we judge people? What's the fuck? What? you know, what?
Yeah,
Why?
babe, that is like the golden ticket, the golden question that I do not have the $1 million question that I do not have the answer to. However, I do think maybe it's the fact that because the beach for us, coming from a Western society, it's not somewhere that we frequent all the time. Whereas perhaps if we're talking about Brazil, we're talking about, for
Speak
us.
for yourself.
Sorry, no. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Scrap that.
No.
Okay, in the UK, in Europe, or European, that kind of, European Western culture, perhaps it's somewhere that's been always a site of, oh, babes.
Sorry.
But thank you. Ole! I haven't said that yet this episode. Ole! Should be like a little alarm clock for you in the morning. Ole! Wake up! You've got to teach your pre-Ks. Ole!
I'm too good for pre-K, sorry.
Oh, okay. You think you're better than me now because you get paid $1 extra for teaching non-pre-Ks. Is that what you think now? Okay.
Maggie, no, you got paid. You got $1 extra starting rate than me. You're going to be on more money in a year.
Oh, shut up.
Tomorrow's my 400th day of Wales English.
Sorry, just another plug.
This is an important question. We're going to delete that. This is an important question.
No, my question is basically that I think, the way I look at it, I think, you know how you were saying how in Brazil, like, all body shapes and sizes, people of all backgrounds are just proud, just enjoying themselves at the beach. I think because it's such a part of your daily routine. It's so sort of integrated in your daily sense of self and being, which is not the same living in the UK, for example. Living in the UK, it's sort of like a special occasion to go to the beach. So maybe that's why we have this societal pressure. I don't know. I have no idea where it comes from.
Do you know
just
what?
One take.
Like, a curious thought, and I don't know if it comes from this as well, but like, the UK and Australia, we're kind of a nanny state. There's a lot of rules. People follow the rules, and people tend to behave. Whereas in Brazil, people are just like, our country's fucked. What can we do? We're just going to have fun. We're going to not break the rules, but we're just going to enjoy ourselves. And, maybe it's based on the fact that, like, authority in our country, it's kind of like, and the norms of society are built in the past. I think every problem and every kind of societal thing is from colonialism. Like, colonialism fucked the world, so...
Absolutely. I agree completely. I think it's the fact that we're colonial... we're colonial countries at the end of the day. And it comes back to empire.
It does. Oh my God. If you are feeling more, naked than ever, then we absolutely would love to hear your stories. If you've ever feared harassment on the beach, and that's the reason why you wouldn't go topless, let us know at labbytalkpodcast@gmail.com, or you can also email it. No. That is the email. Or you can also contact us on Instagram or Facebook at Labby Talk Podcast. And who are we thanking for our logo and the music, Maggie?
Wow. So thank you so much, Amy, for the music, and Alejandra Gonzalez for the logo design. Our lovely Boliviana. We love you.
Maggie, pleasure as always. Love talking to you.
Babes, it's my favorite thing to do in the week, honestly. My highlight. Highlight of the week.
Can't wait to keep Labby Talk going forever. And thank you for listening, everybody. We absolutely love you. Goodbye.
Good night.
Woo-woo.
Good night. Bye.
It's Sunday night, I'm drinking wine.